Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Keegan, and welcome back to round 2 of the Supercoach Diaries. So, as you can see, here is my team. Without having so many maths whizzes in the crowd, I got 2,007 points, which put me about 96,000th place overall. So, a pretty average start. And let's be honest, Supercoach really isn't my game, but I do enjoy getting into it, and I'm sure you guys out there too. There's probably a few out there. Let me know in the comments below how you went in the first round. You probably all did better than me, and I'm probably not surprised. Today, I'm just going to go through some of the players that really took off last round for me, some players that really struggled, and any changes that I think I'm going to be making into this upcoming round. Obviously, without the Thursday night teams being released so far, only the teams for the Collingwood-Richmond game have been released, so I know those players, who's going to be in and who's going to be out, but I don't know any of the other players, so it's hard to sort of make any decisions until I know what's going on with those players, because there's a lot of rookies in this team that don't have a lot of job security, and to be fair, that can be said for a lot of rookies across the entire league. Who is my praise going to? Who my best performers in the past week? Rory Laird with 147 was amazing for the Coast. In all honesty, if you watch that game, he should have been up towards 170, 180. He was just absolutely immense and dominant over that entire game and entire backline. Taylor Adams was a really good pickup. Was a really good pick. He had a lot of time in the midfield with Collingwood and got a lot of ball, and a score of 117 in the back line is always great to look at. Dangerfield went on as always, 138. I wish I had him as my captain. I had him as a captain for so long, and I gave up and switched to Fife because I thought Freo would have a better run of it, especially with Zach Smith out. I was thinking Sandilands might be giving 5 silver plate service. That didn't happen, so unfortunately, I lost out on 60 points there. Dangerfield had a good game. Ablett was a bit of a funny pick, but he ended up getting 114, which is still not an explosive game by Ablett standards, but 114 is a solid score, and he can only get better. Who else had Gorn? Even though I'm really worried about this red and white circle here, indicating that he could be injured, he still's got 128, a lot of hit outs to advantage. He looked like an absolute monster out there against Tom Hickey, and I've got no reason to believe he won't keep going on with this if he's still healthy. And of course, the Budweiser Franklin was another immense score, 125 points in a losing team for Sydney is always a good pick, buddy. He always does come up. He's usually a pretty consistent scorer, and then he'll usually have the big week. To the not so great performers, to the players that are going to be having to watch their back because they could be on the chopping block come next round. Firstly, you could probably put all the rookies on that list because they were pretty average. If you look over my rookie scores, really the only ones that sort of really stand out were Pal Pepper with 78, and you also got Hoskin Elliott, even though he's not really a rookie, he had 88, and Butler for Richmond had a solid 96, which is good too. He was on my bench, unfortunately, for the last round, so he comes onto the field for us this week, hoping he can replicate that form against Collingwood. You know what it's like chasing scores. He's probably going to get a solid 20 or something just to really rub it in my face that he isn't going to go anywhere near as big as he did last week. Other sort of players that sort of can find their heads on the chopping block if they don't perform against this round would be players like Rance, who only is for 59 for my highest paid backman, is really disappointing. Now, he is prone to the odd low score, but he has shown that he can consistently put up 90s and plus in the back line, which is usually pretty good. So I'm going to back him in one more week. We'll see how he gets on. If he gives us another low score, he could be looking at finding himself out of the team. Hanbury is another one. He only scored 52, and that is really harsh. He only had 72% game time on the field, and there is whispers that he could be injured. So part of me really wants to trade him on this week to get ahead of the curve, but I think I'm going to give him one more week. If he scores absolutely poorly next week, then Hanbury is going to find himself on the outer, and I'm going to have him to be looking at another premium midfielder into the fold. Dalhouse, while not an absolute disaster, 85 wasn't I was expecting from Dalhouse. I was expecting around 100. 85 is not a total disaster, but I'd like him to see him perform better. And O'Meara is another one, 71. is alright. I can't complain. He'll be better for the run and he will look better heading into the next round. As far as trades go, the only person that I really need to trade is Joel Smith, who has dislocated his shoulder and he's out for 4 months. But at the moment, I can't actually afford any other rookies that I know will be scoring this week, so I can't really turn him over into anyone else. I need to wait for the teams to be announced on Thursday. There are chances that Vickers Ellis or Vickers Willis from North Melbourne, I'm not great with names, whatever his name is, could also come in for North Melbourne. He could be a pick. I could have to do a bit of switching here and there, and I could possibly make a few changes using Hibbard to get a better replacement in for him, but we will of course wait and see on that. The rookies at all were a bit of a disaster, and their job security is under threat. So that's about how my team's looking at the moment. I'll leave it like it is. I'm probably, if I'm not forced into a trade and I can't find a proper trade for Joel Smith, I'll just hold him for this week and then I'll trade him on next week when I have to downgrade a premium. But at the moment, I'm going to just sort of stick with what I've got. I don't think it can go any worse, to be honest. I was sort of lucky to get to 2,000, in my opinion, because a lot of team players underperformed. We got some really, really poor scores, like Trelaw, for instance, who got 96 after having what looked like an absolutely blistering game. And so we'll see how we get on next week. Anyway, guys, this is a bit of a quick, rushed episode. I'm sort of being a bit busy with it. I haven't had time to sit down and go over all the stats and all the possible players that could be coming up. Look for those in future weeks when I've got a bit more time on my hands. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed this quick rundown of my team, quick update of what's going on. Have a good one, and I'll see you later.